Guten Tag, ciao, and hello. Welcome to my Rebellion in the Rim intro video. Just a few details here before we get started. It is a 3 versus 3 campaign with 2 new players split on each side. So we'll have some interesting results, I'm sure. And let's get into the house rules here. We have a Wave 8 ship ban. This was contentious, but I'm glad it went through, as Starhawks and Onagers are annoying to fight and hard to kill, and Rebellion in the Rim was not designed with them in mind. Then we also have a large ship half hull, half points rule. I think this is very good because, larges are very hard to kill, especially in the early stages of Rebellion in the Rim, but just hard to kill in general with half a fleet. So, 200 points, I think larges need that huge ship treatment. Then we bumped our commander tier up, total tier up to tier 6, so we can get a little more customization involved. A little stronger commanders, just making the game a little more fun. And we re-tiered the Ordnance Expert. Ion Tech failed, unfortunately, but Ordnance Expert is a tier 3 ability now. And then we also bumped the upgrade cost of all tier 3 abilities by 1, XP cost by 1, except for logistics and espionage. And then we bumped the fleet point cap up to 275. Demo survived the ban unanimously. And then unequipped upgrades don't count towards the fleet cost. That might have been a bad idea, but overall, I think it'll be fine. And then we had a second wave of house rules. We moved Rockhopper to Rockhopper 2 to tier 1, and we just got rid of Rockhopper 1. And then we merged Ready Defender and Attacker into a single 1-tier ability and upped the XP cost by 1. And then Rapid Deployment now gives non-rogue Squadron Scout, because that's a fun new keyword. And then we also made strategic effect tokens get a 3-to-1 trade ability. So if you get too many skilled spacers or whatnot, they're there to be traded away. And now let's take a look at the fleets, and we'll start with the team with initiative. That's the Rebels. We have Biggest Dickus. He's one of the new players here. You can't tell from the name. And that's his commander name, by the way, not his actual tag. He's got an MC-75 armored cruiser with point defense ion cannons, and Biggest is a Master Engineer 1. So that's going to be a tanky large to take down. 9 hull, a lot of shields there. Point defense ion cannons. It's going to be tough sell when considering that as a target on the table. We have a CR-90A supporting it, and that's naked. And then a GR-75 medium transport with CommsNet, probably just to send one of those repair tokens over to the MC-75. And then Shara Bay and the A-Wing supporting that in the squadron game. So overall, I really like this fleet a lot, especially from a new player. I'm positive he received help, but overall, I think this is a great fleet. So the armored cruiser, is getting a lot of long-range side attacks, and then it can turn in and just throw dice with that front arc when the time is right. Next up, we have Tom Ulrund, who has a naked MC-80 command cruiser as his flagship, and a naked assault frigate Mark IIB supporting it with the CommsNet GR-75, sending tokens. And Tom is a Master Gunner 1. That's it. So overall, maybe I would have thrown Skilled First Officer on these ships as command upgrade, officer upgrades, just to max out the points at 198. But overall, I think it's a good fleet. Squeezing in naked just to get the extra ship in there, and I think that's smart. Then we have sorry, I don't have the names up in front of me. Rax Dolast, that's the name. Nebulon B escort frigate, so that's the 2 blue anti-squad with a 2 squadron value. And that he'll be pushing, as the flagship, he'll be pushing Dutch Vander and Wedge Antilles around, so that's the Rebellion bromance. And then there's also MC-30C with torpedo frigate and a CR-90A, so he's got a fast and furious fleet there. Who needs a GR-75 when you just have 3 fighting ships? So I like this fleet a lot. I think this is a really fun one too. MC-30s are really hard to take down, I think. in Rebellion of the Rim until you get those upgrades. So that might be the Net B is just like super juicy to target, I guess, as an Imperial player. Next up, we have our new player, Titus Tass. If you can't tell from the name, he's got Master Engineer 1 as well, on an Interdictor with Targeting Scrambler, so that is another tanky ship. That's up to Engineering 9 with a Dial-In token, which is bonkers. And then a Gladiator 1 with Assault Concussion Missiles, and a Gazanti Cruisers with part resupply. So just really funding that Interdictor and making sure it doesn't die. And the best part about, I think about the best part about this build is that the Interdictor, while having 9 hull, doesn't fall under the half hull, half points rule. So, oh, you somehow whittled it down to 5 hull? Sucks. Like it won't count. It's a medium ship. Then there's Tel Travera in the squadron game there. Next up we have Tyrius Tulania with a Simoon as the flagship with Link Turbolaser Towers, with Master Navigator as his ability, and Architon's Light Cruiser that's naked. Again, we probably could have put Skilled First Officer on there just to fill it up, but who needs that? And then we got a Gazanti with Commsnet. So overall, I like this build a lot. Definitely going to be the fire support build here. You know, for pivotals, providing those red dice while you get everything else set up and in range. And finally, we have my fleet here. I am Ilian Lorena, who is a Master Navigator on a ISD-2. That's the lone ship in my fleet, so everyone has 3 ships except for me, or I'm just with the 1. And I have Early Warning System as my singular upgrade, so providing some of that defensive ability that I'll need being the single ship, with Merrick Steel, Whisper, and 2 TIE Phantoms for a nice amount of squadron points. Just getting the most out of that squadron 4, and I can throw 16 dice, 20 dice a turn at a ship. If I really wanted to, if I got that double arc. So that's pretty juicy there. A lot of dice and a lot of fun stuff. So I'm a Master Navigator. I'm not sure if I said that already. So now let's take a look at the starting bases for the fleets. Alright, in the base building selection stage, the Imperials go first and picked my Guido to secure the fleet command slot for the Simoon, as that is the only location for the fleet command slot. And the Rebels chose Moncala as their starting base. And that's a good one to start with, as it gives you the defensive retrofit and title options. And then the Imperials chose Bespin as their as our next one, and we're just trying to secure some title location. Ideally, we would have liked Moncala as their second choice, but that didn't happen. And then the Rebels chose Rhodia as theirs, and that was actually on our Imperial shortlist, so it was a good one overall to take. And then the Imperials chose Sullust as the third option, giving access to the defensive retrofit and the officer slot. There, we were kind of planning on picking Sullust second, but we figured, hey, the Rebels aren't going to likely double up on the defensive retrofits. So it's a bit of a gamble. I expected Bespin to stay, and it did. So then finally we have Smuggler's Run as the third option there for the Rebels. I was a little surprised by that, given Montross is on the board, but I think they wanted Rhodia. And overall, the Spynet token is really nice to get to. So yeah, that's kind of how things broke down in that part of the things. And the first wave of attacks was declared. So the Rebels chose to attack Utapau. That was Tom Ullrand and his MC-80 command cruiser attacking Utapau. And then the Imperials chose to attack Endor. So because this was out of any sector of a Rebel base, the defending Rebel fleet... I apologize, I forgot to say who's defending. We had Tyrius Tulania defend Utapau, and then Titus Tass was attacking at Endor defending was Biggest Dickus. So Titus Tass and Biggest Dickus had have a showdown. And then finally, the two green animals were showing down at Geonosis with Rax, Dolast attacking, and myself, Ilian, Lorena defending. So we're gonna get those battles done and hopefully completed soon and quickly, and get those updated. And yeah, I'll let you know our big brain play in just a second here. Thank you. I guess in our next video, which, you know, who knows when that's coming out. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll fill you in on after the first round. Bye.